So this is our third video in the series of surface machining basics in Creo NC. Last time we looked at conventional milling, which basically the important part is noting it's basically going in a straight line and it's got a cut angle there. So today let's look at a little more powerful option, specifically cut line milling. Right? So if I do the same thing, cut line milling, so really pretty much everything the same as we did before. I'll use the same step over and everything. Notice we have a new option now, cut line. So the way this works is basically you're going to find the first cut and the last cut, and then you have options for in between. So when I say the first cut, so for example, following along here, I could say I want this curve. See how I'm picking the edge of my surfaces. I want that to be cut line number 1. I want cut line number 2 to be the other edge. And what that does is says essentially your very first pass should look like this. Your last pass should look like that. And if I hit the preview button, see how it's basically morphed from one to the other. And that's quite often a really good toolpath. So if we go play this, you'll see now much cleaner way of cleaning up all of those. And then it automatically adjusts the step over to get, again, the maximum, whatever you've chosen would be out here, but it automatically brings it closer as needed to do that. And that's the really nice part about cut line machining, the ability to do things like I choose, and I'll just go back to that menu, this cut and then this cut. And notice you can even do more. I could literally project a line in space and have it projected onto the curve for a middle cut, cut line 3, stick it in the middle. So you have options like that are really, really nice. You also have the option, let me do a quick change. Let's go do just this one patch, because one of the other nice things in cut lines is the ability to auto cut line. And what that does is it basically says outer and inner. So if you have a loop of some sort and you want to basically walk all the way there along with a scan type, now you've now got spiral, right? So you've got a couple of different options here that showed up just because you're in cut line. So if I say cut line spiral, it basically looks at both of them and spirals in and out. And we can change that to what we really want, which is a helical cut. And notice the order of the inner and outer, that's important. So if I want to start in the middle and do a helical cut all the way on the outside, it automatically morphs that. So that's the, again, ability, if you've got this kind of a closed loop area that you want to machine, you can use auto cut line. You're also going to do that manually. I could manually grab all 4 outside edges, and then for the inner cut line, you can do things like project a point on there or let it do it automatically. Lots of really, really good options there with cut line machining. All right. Some other really nice capabilities here. Let's remove. Okay, so let's instead, so these walls are tapered, so I could use a ball and mill to profile out here, and cut line milling will actually do that just fine. Notice what I can do. I'll say choose those outer surfaces, choose the cut lines, kind of like we did before. That'll be number 1. That'll be number 2. And if you see I do a preview, it's going to morph between. So even though, these are different sizes front to back and have a contour, this allows me to really do what I want rather than just a profile sequence. Let me go change that back to a type 3, and then we'll play that path. You can see what we've got, right? So now I have a lacing profiling sequence, but instead of using profile, just went ahead and used cut line machining. So that can be really, really powerful, especially then when you start combining this toolpath with multi-axis. And I'll save that for another video. But the idea is you can really start controlling where that tool goes, how it gets used, and a lot of really good options there inside of Cutline. Again, I mentioned it before. You have to have at least 2, but you can do 3. You could put 1 in the middle and really start controlling the morphing, because it would go from 1 to 2, 2 to 3, 3 to 4 if you have multiple in there. And then a few other options in here. I won't go into these today, but you can do things like synchronizing points and so forth. If you've got really wacky top and bottom, you can control things there. But lots of really, really good options. So that is Cutline milling in Creo NC.